Well, he can do the stemwinder stuff, can he? Anyway, thank you very much. The mayor has agreed to stick around and talk with each of you, or as many of you as he can. So I invite you to stick around and visit, ask your question. If you've got pothole pictures, now's the time to go out. Anyway, do you
want one quick thing on potholes? Ask people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I want to tell you about potholes. I love to talk about potholes. Okay. All right. Let's talk about potholes. All right. Really quickly, we had to make a choice in this city when we got massive state aid cuts, and so what we had to do is we prioritized public safety. One of the reasons we were able to make such progress on crime is we put a lot more money into that. So we had to delay some public works investments. The short answer on how we handle the budget cuts from the state is your streets are safer to walk down because they have potholes. Okay, that's not a sustainable strategy. So what we did is two budgets ago we launched something called the Infrastructure Acceleration Program. We put $27.5 million additional dollars into filling potholes. I'm going to announce a new budget supplement next week, and we'll be putting even more in it. So I invest in potholes, but we've got to do that. Now the most exciting thing is my job right now is to call delegates and convince them to go to the convention. Now I won't mention this person's last name, but a certain delegate posted on her status she's about to change her status to RT Rybak from another candidate. She's considering it. So I think we should call this person and have all, okay? Is this her?
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to hear a lot of applause here. Can you put it on speaker? Okay, good. So we're going to put it on speaker. And I have to call delegates all day long. I need your help, you guys. Okay? You ready? Yeah. Okay, so be very quiet till I get her on the phone. Okay, phone is ringing. We're going to leave her a message.
Your call right now. Please leave your name. I'll call you back. Next 5. Leave a voice message. Press 1. Or just wait for
I'm going to press 1. Hello, Megan. It's RT Rybak calling. I saw your Facebook status. I became euphoric at the opportunity, and I happen to be on stage at the moment at Drinking Liberally. I didn't disclose your last name because you have that, but I want to ask you guys, do you think Megan should vote for RT Rybak? I'd love to have your support, Megan. Thank you very much.
Nevertheless.
Well, I don't usually do this kind of thing, but I asked Steve to indulge me. I've known RT for 25 years. We were introduced that long ago. He led a group of folks who are now middle-aged. We organized and hosted huge parties. They were like proms for grown-ups, where we raised awareness and money for some local charitable organizations. Those were good times. You know, we've been blessed to have RT as our mayor for about a decade now, and you know, I've known him to be a leader and a man who knows how to set priorities. I don't always agree with him. I match my socks.
And I don't.
But I think if we're lucky, if people pay attention this upcoming season, we might be blessed to have him as our next governor. How about that? Okay. Thanks. RT.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. To John Ullman. To Jared Ullman. All right. John and I knew each other in the Pleistocene era. I think it was a long time ago. Middle-aged is really, really nice, John. We were really fun a long, long time ago. But I actually knew Jarrett. It's kind of embarrassing. You were very, very small, and now you run a bar for 5 years. So it's great to see. Thank you to Drinking Liberally for all that you do, because I think one of the things that you do is, this is a lot of fun. But it's also something where the serious part of this is to actually bring our values and our politics out into the community and not say that a few people who are locked away in other places are the only ones who get to have a say about what happens. My experience with Drinking Liberally is that you drink, you're liberal, but more important, you're connected. Well, hey, let's call it what it is. But what's really wonderful is that you're talking about things, you're arguing about things, you're connected to things. And one of the reasons that this country and this state got off on such a wrong direction for so long is because people just zoned out, all right? Remember that old saying, if you're not mad now, you're not paying attention? Well, that's what I felt about all those years that George Bush was in the White House. And it's how I feel right now about what's happened in the governor's office. It is time now to take back the governor's office, to win that office, but to take back the state of Minnesota. I want to ask, are you guys ready to do that? I think it's absolutely time to do that. But we got to get clear on this a little bit. How are we going to win that, and what are we trying to take back in the first place? All right, well, the first thing I think we need to do is the way to win an election, but also the way to turn a state around, is to be honest and direct and strong about the things that we believe in. We should not compromise on the basic values that we have. It is time once again to be a state that invests in the things that make us better. We must invest in schools and once again be the brain power state. There's no doubt about that. And we must invest in healthcare. And what happened in Washington is a great start. We can do much better, and we can cover everyone, and we can get upstream preventive care, and we can reform the way the care is done. This should be the healthiest state in the country. And we can move forward on new jobs. First off, making sure that we foster small business, like this one right here. Individuals working hard, putting your money in, putting people to work, that is a good part of this whole neighborhood has been reborn because entrepreneurs have invested. When you go down the road, you see Standard Heating and Air Conditioning with 100 jobs there. You go across the river. Just go down the river and look across. You'll see Coloplast. 500 jobs we brought into Minneapolis. So we're going to continue to focus on jobs. So let's make sure that we invest in what matters. And not only in creating jobs, but in the work of making sure that people who have been long-term unemployed are moved into work. During these past 8 years, 10,000 people in Minneapolis have been moved through our employment and training. 7,000 of those are long-term unemployed people. And that's important. So now for the first time in record, the unemployment rate in the city of Minneapolis most months is below the suburbs, the state, and the nation. There's almost no big city in America that can say that. It's not an accident. Because what we have done is we've invested in people and jobs, and that's what we're going to do in the state. So first and foremost, we're going to stand up for what we believe in. All those things, and finally, another thing we're going to stand up for is we're going to stop the politics of anger and exclusion, and we're going to stop targeting people and start saying in the new Minnesota there's not a single person to waste. There is not a block in the city of Minneapolis, and certainly in this neighborhood, that isn't made better, and I would say dramatically better, by members of the GLBT community. This will be a government that supports that and allows people every right they have. And in a period of time where there are 515 pieces of Minnesota law that exclude a couple that loves each other but happens to be of the same sex from having equal rights, we're going to change that. And this will be a state where everybody gets the right to marry, not only because they love each other, but because marriage is a state of law and everybody deserves equity. This will also be a state where we say we are better because of all the peoples we are. When I look across at a great city school across the street, we say that in this city we now speak 100 languages. And that has great challenges, but it also has great opportunity. The kids we are raising are the most valuable generation we have ever raised. They are the key to our global competitiveness. We need people in business who cross cultural barriers. Our kids cross cultural barriers every time they change classes. So if we can continue to the reforms that we have at Edison and at North and some of these high schools and grade schools around here, we're going to continue to make this a brain power state that is better because of who we are. So all of those things I believe in and we should be passionate about. But as Democrats,